Hi, I'm Jason from StrataGames. Today we're playing some more Pauper. We're playing Grixis Affinity. This is a list that I wanted to try with the Edge of Eternities updates because we got Cryogen Relic, which is obviously going to be a sweet one, and also I wanted to try out Nutrient Block in it. I was going to brew a Grixis Affinity list, and I decided to look just at what Luffy was doing, Luffy being the premier Affinity pilot of the format, and found that he played this list. I've just copied his list exactly. It's 80 cards in the deck. I actually played against him playing a different deck yesterday and was confused why he had 80 cards. It's because there's just so many good cards for this deck in the format now that I guess he couldn't choose, but he even got a trophy with it. I just think it seems interesting. Obviously, having just 60 is probably optimal, but there's just so many good cards in this deck. So we get to play both Cryogen Relic and Wellspring because we have so many slots. So that's 8 of those. We have 4 Reckoner's Bargain, 4 Fanatical Offering, an Eviscerator's Insight, and 4 Thoughtcast. So tons of card draw. Obviously, the Wellspring and the Cryogen Relic draw as well. We're playing 4 Nile Spellbombs to be able to always find one ideally. We, of course, still have 4 Mirror Enforcers, 4 Refurbished Familiars. We have 4 Black Mage's Rod and 2 Kenku Artificers to keep our number of threats pretty high. 4 Krark Clan Shaman, just 1 Toxin Analysis to go with that. 4 Galvanic Blast for some more removal. 3 Blood Fountain, just trying one of the Nutrient Block in here. I guess there wasn't room for more. 1 Hunter's Blowgun, and then of course we had to up our land count a little bit, 26, so we have 4 of every single artifact land in our colors, as well as a swamp and a mountain. I think this seems really sweet. Sideboard, we have 5 Hydroblast effects, we have 6 Pyroblast effects, Caster of the Fire Breath Weapon, and 2 Unexpected Fangs. So let's take this for a league and see how this, what I believe he called Yorion Affinity deck does. First round, we're playing against All Eyes on Me. Yesterday I played against them playing Black Sack, and of course they're on Flicker Tron. Grixis Affinity probably going to be a little bit harder for us, but we'll see how it goes. 1 land and a bunch of black spells is not going to cut it. This one is acceptable. We're going to have to put back the seat so we keep all of our colors, I think. They play a mine. We get a Krark Clan Shaman. Krark is not going to be super useful here, so I'm just going to play it turn 1 so that we can start attacking, pressuring them a little bit. And I did the math. We can still play Rod on turn 2, Rod on turn 3, and Thoughtcast on turn 3 as well. So we should be fine there. Double Rod could be quite good here. Could give us the fast start that we need. They have Energy Refractor, 2 Tron pieces already. And looks like Crop Rotation, so that's already Tron online. And a Murmuring Mystic. That is quite annoying. We're going to get wrecked by a Breath Weapon no matter what. I think we just try to deal him as much as we can with another Rod and then a Thoughtcast. Ping him for 2 here. Not drawing quite what we need. We're just going to pass. Ideally, the birds aren't going to be relevant. If we can just cast 8 more spells, we can kill them. They have a Relic. And there's the Ghostly Flicker on Relic and Refractor, so they're going to draw 3 cards because Relic left, re-entered, and the Refractor entered. So 3 mana, draw 3, plus make a bird is pretty decent. A Power Plant, pass. We get a Refurb. That's not terrible. I think we're going to start with just an Eviscerator's Insight on the Krark. We have another if we really need. Munitions could be decent. Playing the Refurb now doesn't actually really matter, so I think we'll actually just get down a bridge because we're not going to be able to attack with it very efficiently. Next turn we have Munitions. They'll be at 12. A Familiar and a Krark. I mean, they don't have a ton of time, maybe 2 or 3 more turns at the most, but they also have, 12 mana or something right now. 11. Swing with the bird and just pass. They have counter spells up too, which is annoying. So Makeshift is really one I'd like to resolve. So I guess we'll just play a Familiar first, see what they do with that. It resolves. Play a Krark, and we'll play a Bridge and pass here. Problem is if they just have a Mystical Teachings, then they can just find a Breath Weapon and we're kind of hosed from there. And there's the Teachings. Weather the Storm, actually. I guess we did cast 2 spells if they just wanted to gain 12 here. Do they already have a Breath Weapon? I don't know. They play a Wall for a Flicker, I'm sure. No, just the Teachings. Pass. Thoughtcast. We will do that. Ping them for a couple. They're going to Mystical in response and find an Unwind or something. Abjure. Sure. Sack the Relic, or they could just sack like a bird. Abjure the Thoughtcast. I mean, that could be decent. It lets our Makeshift resolve here. But they do have a Weather the Storm. I could kill off the Wall and the Mystic now, but that doesn't matter, and we need to save these for the Munitions. So I guess we'll just play the Bridge. Pass. They swing with a bunch of birds. We'll take it. Flicker, a wall, and a refractor. I don't think we can afford to wipe the board with the shaman, so I think we just have to let them do this. Get back the flicker. Reality acid. The munitions. That's pretty interesting. Ghostly Flicker can't hit enchantments, I don't think, though, right? They weather the storm. They gain 9. And oh, they can abjure their own weather the storm to make the reality acid sack off the munitions. That's pretty interesting. So we're gonna lose the munitions. I guess we gotta take out. I don't really have anything expendable, unfortunately. I kind of need the Krark for if we get Death Touch to wipe these two. I think we're gonna sack the Familiar to the Eviscerators, so I guess we just lose the munitions, unfortunately. Then go to our turn. We get an Enforcer. Okay. Sack the Familiar, ping them for 2. Galvanic Blast. I mean, that could take out the Mystic or the Wall. We know they still have a Ghostly Flicker in hand. So, play an Enforcer. I mean, by taking out the Mystic, I mean with the Krark alongside it. Or it could just deal 6 damage to them, which might need to be our play instead. Yeah, I think we're going for damage on them. Alright, we'll pass. Hold up the bargain on the Mirror Enforcer, since it's never getting through anyway. They Bajuka Bog us, not the end of the world. Swing for a bunch. We'll take it. And on the end step, we'll try to sack the Enforcer. They left up their mana, so if they want to flicker, if they want to cast a Teachings, they can. Yep, they do. Abjure. They can sack a bird. They just get an Unwind. Sure, that seems better. We do ping them for 2. They also have an Omen of the Sea. Do they have another Weather the Storm here? This does not seem like a great matchup for us, to be honest. Just a Vault of Whispers. We're gonna lose this one. No way I can get through that, unfortunately. Good news is we have 6 Pyroblast effects to bring in. Cast doesn't seem bad. And we don't need the life gain from the bargain. Krarks don't seem exceedingly helpful. I mean, with Death Touch, they're okay. But I think we'd prefer just the Pyroblasts. So maybe we just take all of those with the Toxin and the Blowgun out. Keep it at 80 cards. Alright, we're on the play this time. We have double Spellbomb, which isn't bad, but we only have 1 land. Ugh, nope, that's not going to cut it. This one's better. 2 land, and I think we just have to get rid of the Cast in the Fire, I guess. Play a bridge and pass. They got a power plant. We got a bridge. Another munitions. Or rather, the same munitions again. Refractor. I wish we had the Cast in the Fire, but, you know, we knew that was a possibility. Just play a Wellspring. Another bridge. I think we'd rather just hold up a Red Blast, just in case they get Tron right here and try to go for like a Muldrifter or something. And they do have the natural Tron. Omen of the Sea. I don't think that's something I care enough about to blast. Prophetic Prism. And a Cryogen Relic. I guess we'll get rid of that. Relic does seem pretty decent for them. Maybe it's not worth it here, but Spellbomb's not bad. So this is 5, 6 artifacts. So we could play a 1-mana Enforcer, but then I can't bargain. And I kind of need to bargain. But I also kind of need to get my damage going. I guess we'll do the Enforcer. Try to start pressuring them. They have a Dream Stalker. Okay, bring back the Omen. Play Omen, not the scariest thing I've ever seen. Conduit Pylons, mill a Moment's Peace. And of course they have a blocker right here. I could use a Spellbomb for the Moment's Peace right now. That doesn't feel like enough value. Doesn't feel like we need to either. Let's just bargain the Wellspring. See if they have a counterspell for that. They let it go. And a Thought Cast. We definitely need blue mana, but I can play the Wellspring and then Enforcer. So we will do that and just pass. Mnemonic Wall gets back the Moment's Peace. It's not the worst thing in the world. I'll let it go. If we were like a full aggro deck, maybe I'd want to interrupt that, but Galvanic Blast can be used on the wall. I think we're just going to bargain away the Wellspring again. Try to hit that blue source. We find it. And we'll Familiar, hold up Red Blast and Galvanic. They discard the Moment's Peace again. Now we can swing for some benefit. They will block and take 4. They crack the Omen of the Sea, so they don't have a lot going on, which is nice. Scry both to the bottom. They just have a Rolling Thunder to deal with all of our creatures and deal us a damage. That's pretty annoying, but I guess I can't do anything about it. Attack for 1. Alright, I guess I'll just sack the Spell Bomb, get rid of their Moment's Peace, and draw a card here. I want to hold this Galvanic for hitting them. We do get a Blood Fountain, so I can redeploy both my Enforcers right now if I want to tap out. I think that seems reasonable. Not the worst thing ever. But tapping out I don't love. I just think it was our best play. They have a Prism just past us. Okay, not punished for tapping out. Play a Mountain and get a Thought Cast going. They might want to counter our Thought Cast. Abjure with the Wall. Seeing as we have an Insight, I'm fine with that. We're just going to do this in response in case we get like 2 Red Blasts and I want to use one, but we'll let that go, I think. And I could Red Blast the Dreamstalker just to get in for 8. I don't think we need to, though. I think we're just going to go to combat, hit for 4, and play a Cryogen Relic. Ooh, and a Familiar. Yeah, I guess we can play that. Hold up the Red Blast. Still. They discard Annihilate. They have a Pulsamarasa for the wall. I can't do anything about that, but I can counter the wall on the way down. I did realize they sacked the wall pretty easily, so I assumed they had something else to get it back. We're going to try to counter that so they can't continue looping these, ideally. However, they have a Ghostly Flicker to try to draw 2 with the Prism. Both the Prisms, but that resolves. They just have a Murmuring Mystic. Okay, we're going to start... We're just going to draw 2 from this Offering. Relic, play a Familiar, discard a Dignitary, map onto an Enforcer. Blood Fountain, will leave that on top. Swing with the crew. They block the Enforcer. Take 7. Just going to get a Makeshift down and pass. They have a Relic. Not a bad draw. It lets them keep one of these tapped and draws them 2. Also just get a Wall, which can get back the Pulse, which can get back the Dignitary. They don't have enough mana for all that. Also, I guess I don't need to attack anymore because I just have the Makeshift plus a Galvanic. But Pulse does gain them 6 more life. Or they could just get Abjure. Although if they do that, I'm going to Galvanic them in response. They're going to go for the Pulsamarasa. And I'm going to throw Enforcer at them at the end step. Because we got the 1 mana, and that Enforcer's never getting through anyway. They Pulse on the end step as well, get back the wall. So we have them at 12, and then for 8 more damage, so that's not quite enough. Refurb, yeah, we don't quite have lethal on them. Although, I can trade a Refurb for this bird, and then I can buy back both Refurbs in our grave, and then make them discard their 2 cards. That seems pretty good. So, we'll do that. Swing with the team. We're going to block with the Dreamstalker and a bird. Play the Blood Fountain. Buy back 2 Refurbished Familiars. Make them discard their hand. Weather the Storm, and it's going to be a wall. And we'll just leave up our Galvanic and our Makeshift Munitions. They have an Omen of the Sea. Sack the Omen to scry 2. Sack the Relic to keep the Enforcer tapped. Map. Sack the map. For Nurse's Tower. More mana. Swing for 1 with the Murmuring Mystic. No? Okay. Yeah, that seemed interesting. Like an interesting choice. I think we'll just untap. Bargain. We'll try to swing for 6 here. They have an Ancient Grudge to take out a Familiar. Plus they're going to make a bird. That's annoying. We're going to draw 2 off that Familiar. And of course they can just flash it back. Pretty good find from them. They're going to use it to kill the Enforcer because they're going to try to block both birds with the Familiars. I'm going to pick off the bird with that Enforcer though. I'm going to pick off the other bird with this Blood Token. So that we can still get in for 4, not lose our Familiars. Play a Relic, draw a card, Mere Enforcer. Let's draw a card off of this Familiar. Black Mage's Rod. Here's an Enforcer. I don't want to tap out for that, but I will certainly use it next turn. They draw Mystical Teachings. I guess maybe it's time to kill this Mystic. They probably can find, I mean, they could find a Breath Weapon, they could find a bunch of stuff. They could find life gain. No, I think it's fine. It's been a real pain, but Blue Elemental Blast, just to take out the makeshift. They flash it back right away. Okay, for another counterspell probably. Ghostly Flicker. Blue Blast the munitions. We're gonna throw a damage from this relic at them to draw a card. I couldn't kill the Mystic here now that they have the Ghostly Flicker. We'll just do this, and then if they try to flicker with the wall, I can kill the wall in response. Wall and a Prism. Then again, they're going to be tapped out. They're going to have some cards, and I can just play Rod. Galvanic puts them to 4. Nutrient Block puts them to 3. I guess it's kind of a risk. I can always just kill this on our turn if we really want. They still will have the flicker back, but I think it's probably safer to try to just kill him. If we get some card draw or another Galvanic Blast, we can finish him off. That's a bridge. Play a Black Mage's Rod. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I could play 6 to block and Eviscerator's Insight, and that would leave us with 2 mana. We draw any 1 drop that does a damage, we could get there. Yep. Don't have a lot else going on. So block, hit him for a bit. Actually, I want to hold up 2 red. So let's sack the block, ping him, draw 3. Pyroblast. I mean, that's something. There's all our Pyroblasts finally. Jeez. Okay, well, we're going to kill this Mystic finally. And they have a Ghostly Flicker. So should I just kill the wall now? I'm going to swing with the Enforcer. I don't think I want to swing with all these familiars and lose them all. We'll make them chump with the bird. We are 1 mana off from just killing them. I think we'll just pass. They're going to Ghostly Flicker the wall and the Prism, and I'm just going to try to destroy the wall. That works. They're down to 5, which means Galvanic can finish them off if we still have the Black Mage's Rod and they haven't gained life and a bunch of other things. They don't have a counterspell. They have another Ghostly Flicker. They didn't use that in response to hit the wall? That's interesting. I guess they just wanted the card draw. Or maybe they drew that off of the 1 Prism. That's probably what it was. Cycle Remote Isle. Play a land. 6 mana. Dinrova Horror? Are they playing Dinrova in here? They are indeed. That shouldn't be too problematic. Maybe. I guess if they can flicker it and get rid of more of our cards. We want to keep the Black Mage's Rod, so I guess I'll get rid of the Pyroblast. Alright. Play the Rod again. Hope it doesn't meet a counterspell, but that doesn't look to be the case. They have the Unwind. I could Galvanic them while they're tapped out, but again, that doesn't kill them. Although I guess it does if they don't have any way to prevent the damage here, but whatever. If 1 card, we're going to Wellspring. Spell Bomb is not a terrible draw. Let's play that. Blow up their graveyard. Maybe I should have waited in case they have a Moment's Peace. Draw a card. Well, I guess that fixes that. Well, we'll swing with the whole team. If one of these gets through, the Galvanic Blast will finish them off. And one of them will get through if they don't have a removal or a Moment's Peace or anything. Looks like they have something for the Enforcer, or they're just going to 1. They're just going to 1. Let's play a Spell Bomb. And let's try to Galvanic Blast them. Alright, we got there. 8 minutes left. That I thought we had that game about 4 minutes ago. 4 minutes of our time, more like 10 minutes total. But let's try to get game 3. Alright, we have 1 land. We have some playables, but I just don't like keeping 1 land. We're going to keep this one and hope that we can just draw our way out of this. Start with a bridge and pass. Insight's not a bad draw. That lets us draw 3 on the following turn after the Relic. They have a Relic as well. Forcer's not bad either. Rod isn't bad. We're getting some good draws for sure here. We're going to have 4 or 5 artifacts this turn. 6? Well, we'll play Rod, see if they have a counterspell. They do, annoyingly. So we'll just play a bridge. Maybe I should have just played another Relic. Now they have a Ghostly Flicker to surveil 1 and draw 2. I mean, it's not the most busted ever, but it's still an instant speed divination plus a surveil. It's pretty good. We're going to play a Mystical Teachings while we're tapped out for a crop rotation. Okay, that can find them Tron. Cancel. We can double Relic and then Enforcer here. I think that's probably the call. Now we have a bunch of card draw for next turn, which isn't bad, but we definitely need some interaction and some more pressure. You get to go up to Tron here, online. Sacking this Tributary, it looks like. No, they'll just do the Conduit Pylons. They sacked the Mine for a tower, and then they have a mine? Okay, interesting. There's a Murmuring Mystic, the bane of my existence. Here's another Enforcer. Let's Thoughtcast. Red Blast. Okay, I'm just gonna attack first. If they block, I'll Galvanic this, and then we have a blue blast as backup, or a red blast rather. They have a counter spell. They don't. We also get an Enforcer down. Okay, that's pretty good. Of course, they could just have a Pulsa Marasa or whatever for it, but that's how Tron goes. And we know they have a Teachings in the grave. We're doing something red. Is this another Rolling Thunder? Kill both our Enforcers? Sure looks like it. Yeah, that's annoying. We get to gain 7, I suppose. But I can't counter that. Drawing the Blood Fountain immediately after both times has been pretty nice, I will admit. We're going to use that to get back our guys. Hold up the Red Blast. Definitely a bit lucky on that. They have a Dignitary. Can't do anything about that. I can stop the Flicker, though. Bojuka Bog now is perfect. I'm going to Blood Token away this bridge while we have the mana. Another Red Blast. Wellspring. Let's just Insight a Relic. Try to draw 3. Get a Rod, Wellspring. I think we'll just play Rod. I want to leave up double Red Blast for if they try to Flicker and whatnot. Because I would really like this Dignitary to not steal another combat. There's a Refractor. Play a Tower. Just passing. I like that. Upkeep. They're going to Mystical. That's probably going to find a Flicker. I'm going to let it go, assuming that it's going to find another blue spell. Ancient Grudge. Well, that was our mistake. Kill the Enforcer. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it was potentially a mistake to do that. And I knew it was a possibility. Okay, Enforcer's down. And the other one. Well, Galvanic's not bad. We get to take this guy out. Trigger to take one of their cards. I mean, they knew that we probably had a Red Blast up, so I probably should have not been so foolish to think that they wouldn't have been smart enough to not get a blue spell there, but that's okay. They only have one card in hand. They do have a Moment's Peace in the grave. We get to hold up 2 blasts still. We're gonna pass. Instead, they're gonna correct this Relic, maybe? No, they're gonna Weather for... Okay, that is a hell of a lot of life. That's annoying, but, I mean, card wasn't... It didn't do anything, really, right? Sack the Relic, keep the hero tapped. Omen of the Sea. And I guess we'll counter it, since they're mostly out of cards. Try to keep them from drawing more, and make them think maybe that was our only one. Mountain, let's just Wellspring. Bridge, swing for 2. Play another Wellspring. Okay. Another Omen. I'm not going to counter that with our last counter spell. I think that's fine. 2 to the top. Not what I like to see. That's a wall. We're going to counter that and hope their last spell isn't a counter spell or anything. It was not. Get another Rod. Play an Eviscerator's Insight to draw 3 here. Attack for 4. And, I mean, we'll play a Blood Fountain. By playing it, maybe if they get a Ghostly Flicker, they'll flicker the Bojuka Bog and get our Enforcers, which is kind of bad, but I guess that's what I want to do. I want to save the mana, I guess. They sack the Omen of the Sea. Scry 2 on the top again. Lucky. There's another wall. Get back a Ghostly Flicker. They want. Wish we had found a Spell Bomb by now. They do get a Ghostly Flicker. Might as well use it on the Bojuka Bog, I guess. But yeah, they're going to, for Refractor first, draw a card. Flicker back. Do it again. And pass. I guess they can just do it in response, right? Thoughtcast, draw 2. Another Thoughtcast taps us out of blue, so I don't like that. So I'm just going to Offering first. Draw 3. Draining the whole way. Pyro's amazing. Okay, we get a seat, so I can play another Thoughtcast. And another Offering. Let's swing now. Flashback the Moment's Peace. Fanatical, I've drawn 1,000,000 lands. Guess I could have Blood Fountains there. Oh my gosh, more lands. Well, there's a Refurb. And they discard a Relic. Well, we drew so many lands. Dinrova Horror. I could counter that, or I could counter the Ghostly Flicker, which is problematic as well. Oh god. I guess we're gonna counter... I'm gonna counter the Ghostly Flicker, I guess. I don't really know what's the right call there. Bounce back the hero token. We have to discard. It doesn't matter. Counter it. Hope they don't have another counter spell. They do, but they have to abjure it, discarding sacking the horror anyway, so that's not the end of the world. Still not great. Get back the flicker. They just have flicker in hand. Flicker the wall and the tower. They could do that one more time, but that doesn't get them anything, right? Except for storm count? I don't know why they're doing that. Then they get back a weather. Okay, well, it was for storm. That makes sense. They gain a bunch of life. I think they're just trying to run us out of clock, which is understandable, but kind of frustrating. We get a Kenku. That can deal some damage. We also get a Black Mage's Rod. Equip. I should have equipped this first. It's fine. Then we're going to Kenku onto this. Map onto this guy. And not get rid of that. Attack with everybody. They block. We're going to pass. Down to 24. We only have a couple of minutes. They have an Omen of the Sea. Sack the Omen. They scryed one to the top and then kept it. It's a Prism. They scry another to the top. So they can draw. It's another Omen. Okay. Spinning their wheels a little bit. Cast into the Fire. We're going to buff up this guy. Refurbish. We'll leave that. We will sack Cryogen Relic for nothing. Draw a card. Familiar. They're going to Ghostly Flicker in response. I'm going to exile their Refractor so they can't keep making colored mana. And they're going to flicker the Prism. Get back the Flicker. They draw a card so they don't have to discard the Prism. Go to combat, attack with everybody. They block. Take a bunch of damage. We're going to bring back our 2 Enforcers. Play those, and we got nothing else. Hope that they don't draw anything. There's a Prism. Oh, hello. Sack the Omen in response. Scry 2 to the bottom. They gotta find like a Moment's Peace to keep them alive, I think. Cryogen Relic can tap a guy. But they also have a limited amount of blue mana now, which is nice. Ghostly Flicker the wall. I guess flickering the Prism actually makes it so they don't have a limited amount of blue mana, really. There's another Refractor. Fair enough. I guess if they just end this by getting back a Weather the Storm, they could maybe survive as well. There's a Flicker on a Prism. For Weather the Storm, play a Mine. Weather for, what is that? 18 life. It's a good amount. We get a Pyroblast. Let's just use that to destroy this guy. Ping him for 3. And attack for what I'm hoping is lethal, but I haven't counted. And it was. And we got there. What a long first match. But able to get there against Tron in the end with Grixis Affinity. Alright. Hand has very little card draw, but we have decent mana. Kind of hope we're not against Flickertron again. It could just be Dredge. And that seems a lot better for us, because we have a Spell Bomb. And it is indeed. Just going to play a bridge and pass. We're going to wait on the Spell Bomb a little bit. Oh, it's red Dredge, okay. Molten Gatekeeper, Oliphant, Cathartic Reunion. Cathartic with 2 Stinkweed Imps. We might have to use this Spell Bomb pretty quick. Turn 2, they have 16 cards in their graveyard, including 2 Snackers. Yeah. Well, we're putting the Spell Bomb down, that's for darn sure. And I guess we'll play the Vault so we can draw a card off of it. Because it feels like we're going to have to crack it already. Like, in general, I don't think Red Dredge is quite as good as the other Dredge deck, but cannot argue with turn 2, 16 cards in the grave. Try to unearth the Molten Gatekeeper. I think I don't care too much about that. If they go for like a second one or like the Scrapwork Mutt, I might do the Spell Bomb in response. Yeah. Let's take care of it now. Yeah, we take 2 extra damage by letting this happen, but they also spent their entire turn to deal us 2 damage, and that seems pretty good for me. We do have 3 more Spell Bombs, so I'd love to find another one, but already that did not feel bad at all. That's going to be exiled as well. Thoughtcast. We got a bridge. I mean, we could just Thoughtcast. We're going to have to discard one, but I'm not going to want to use one of these on anything here, so I think it's fine. We'll just do that. And discard. We'll discard a land. We've got enough card draw to probably hit another one, and honestly, 4 is probably okay with the hand that we currently have and what we're against. They have a Scrapwork Mutt, so I can pitch a Stinkweed Imp. Put 5 more cards in the grave. Dread Return, Giant, Faithless, Gatekeeper, and another Faithless is not bad hits at all. A Neonate. We get a Great Furnace, so I could play a Kenku as a blocker and then also hold up a Galvanic. We don't have a lot else going on, so I guess that's fine. Flashback, Faithless Looting. Discard 2 Imps, cycle an Oliphant, play a mountain. This is a nice mountain. I like that. Unearth a Gatekeeper. Are they just going for a Dread Return right now? Because this can't really attack in, and they don't have any other guys coming, so Dread Return would deal us like 5 off the Giant. That's not really that big of a deal. Maybe I should have Galvanic Blast one of the creatures in response, since that seemed to be what they were going for, but it's not really that big of a deal to me, I guess. Seat. Alright, I think we're just passing. And now I can... We're not doing a lot, but as long as we keep them from doing what they want to do, then we'll be fine. Would love to find like a Reckoner's Bargain for some life gain. They do find another Giant, but they don't have another Dread Return at the moment. But now we can Fanatical Offering the map, and then Eviscerator's Insight. We can Fanatical Offering the Artificer, and then sack the map to the Eviscerator's Insight, so that can draw us 4 cards here. Flashback Faithless Looting. That's fine. We'll get a Snacker back. Return a Stinkweed Imp. They mill some more. Discard a Fiery Temper. Oh, they're not going to get the Snacker back because they have not drawn 3 cards, because if they've replaced some of them with Stinkweed Imp Dredges. Cycle an Oliphant. For a mountain, play the mountain. Alright, so we get to Fanatical Offering the Kenku. We need some good draws here. Blood Fountain's not really what we're looking for. Refurb's not great either. Bunch of lands. Galvanic. I mean, that's 12 damage. If we attack them for 3, play a Refurb, and then next turn attack them for 5 with those, we chump with the Enforcer. If we don't die, we can maybe get there. I don't love that playing this Familiar gives them the possibility of Fiery Tempering, but it's just a brown scale. If I don't expect them to gain life rather than use the Stinkweed Imp, so that's fine. And even if they do, it's not a big deal. Let's swing for 3 and pass. They do go for a Stinkweed Imp. They find a Dread Return. They have 14 creatures in the graveyard, so we're going to have to keep them off of creatures. They Scrapwork Mutt. So if they try to get another creature, I'm going to have to shoot the Scrapwork Mutt, because they have a Giant and a Dread Return in the grave. They discard a Stinkweed Imp and dredge it back. Hit a Snacker, but I don't think they've drawn any cards this turn. Maybe they have. Faithless Looting. That probably... They're only at 2 cards in deck. Oh, okay. That probably will get back the Snackers, but we can kill 2 of them. Well, the Mutt and then one of the Snackers. But if they find like a 1-drop from their hand, we're going to be toast, I think. They did draw 2 cards, but they used Stinkweed Imp both times, so both every time previously, so they don't get the Snackers back. Now they go for a Gatekeeper on Earth. We're going to shoot the Scrapwork Mutt. Gatekeeper can come back, and then they have a Scrapwork Mutt from the grave, but I can shoot the Gatekeeper. This is going to put them at no cards in deck. Oh, but this brings back the Snackers. Well, I guess I couldn't prevent it, unfortunately. No cards in deck, but they're going to get there. Pretty annoying, for sure. We can bring in 5 Hydro effects. Honestly, Fangs isn't terrible. If we can just gain enough life, maybe it's worth it. Probably not, but Kinku's slow. Black Mage's Rod doesn't seem super necessary. Makeshift for sure we don't need. Krark clans are kind of decent. I don't think we need 4 of them. Toxin. I guess Toxin's probably better than Blowgun. Take out an Offering. Alright, well, again, this has no card draw. And that did not work for us last time. Maybe I can just catch like a Cathartic Reunion, Blue Blast it. That would feel really good, but I just, this hand doesn't do anything. Of course, this hand doesn't have anything at all except for a Spell Bomb, which is probably the best card in our deck, but we can't rely on just that. This one's a little better. I mean, I'd prefer to just keep our first hand at this point, but this is what we're at. I guess we get rid of the Enforcer. Mountain and a Faithless. Stinkweed Imp and an Epicure. We have no 2-drop, unfortunately. They dredge with the Stinkweed Imp. Cycle an Oliphant for a Mountain. Play an Epicure. Pass to us. We got a Spell Bomb. I could play that and then Thoughtcast, and I have a Blue Blast to help keep it around, but I think I'd rather just play it later, because if they have like a Siege Smash or like an Ancient Grudge, I don't want it to just be on the field. So I think we're just going to Thoughtcast for 2 here. No black lands is rough. Obviously an issue of having 80 cards in your deck is it's easier to flood or screw on a certain color. Cycle another Oliphant. Scrapwork Mutt. Swing for 1. There's a Vault of Whispers. I think I'll just play a Blood Fountain. And I think we're holding out longer. They don't have anything that scary in the graveyard, though just a good amount of cards. 2 snackers, I guess, is kind of annoying, but ideally we can keep them off of drawing 3 cards with this Blue Blast. There's a Scrapwork Mutt. Discard another snacker. I guess the blood token's just going to make it happen. Yep, maybe putting the Spellbomb down would have been the right choice. I just never know against these types of decks. Feels like you put it out too early and you use it, and it's a problem, and you don't use it and you get posed. But yeah, now we're taking 1,000,000 damage and probably not going to be able to clear these guys. Great Furnace. I guess I'm going to Insight the Blood Fountain. Galvanic Blast. Now we have a Spellbomb. Probably too late. Draw a card. Molten Gatekeeper. Gonna pick off a snacker, I guess. Take 9. Cycle an Oliphant for a mountain. Grab the prize. I mean, that's what I was waiting around for. Look, I admit, it was definitely a lapse of judgment to not Spellbomb the turn earlier. And probably gonna bite us. Probably gonna lose us the game here. Wellspring's not terrible. If we get a Mirror Enforcer, I guess we have a shot. Cart Clan can take out these 2. And also gain a lifelink counter because of the Fangs. Guess we'll play that. We'll give it a counter. We'll sack. We can gain 3 life here. Maybe there's a way we could survive. They just draw a card. Unearth a Scrapwork Mutt. Do I have to just Spellbomb their graveyard now? I'm gonna die to snackers. I don't have a way to get rid of them. I think it's fine. Discard a giant. Draw a card. I'm gonna sack a land to kill this guy and gain 2, and then we'll take 4. Play another Scrapwork Mutt. Discard a Stinkweed Imp and try to get back the other snacker. I guess we gotta Spellbomb them now. It's annoying, but if we could just find a way to get rid of these snackers on the field, we might have a shot. Galvanic Blast isn't bad. It gets rid of snacker. So I'm gonna Krark, sack the Krark to draw 2 and gain 1. I was hoping for a land or something, because I'm gonna Galvanic Blast snacker. I don't need to do that yet. I'm gonna sacrifice a land. We're going real low on lands, but I can kill this guy and then get in for 2 as well. And we have a Galvanic up. Well, we're not in a great spot, but 2/2 lifelinker is kind of cool. I think we're just taking this and holding the Galvanic Blast. No, I think we'll just use it. If they have a way to draw enough, they'll be getting only 1 of these back, so that seems reasonable anyway. We'll take 2. There's a Gatekeeper and an Epicure. That's going to deal us 2. But it's more guys to deal damage with the Krark Clan Shaman. Bridge is decent. We're going to just play the Rod, Bridge, and pass. This can gain us 4. I could chump here and then sack the Rod probably, because I don't want to lose any more lands. We'll do that. Block here. Although I guess I'm sacking that. I have to sack a land to this offering, but I could just chump. And I could do this later. We gain 1 less. That's fine. We'll just do the chump. Go to 4. Another Gatekeeper. I guess maybe I should have dealt the damage in response here, because I could have done that to wipe the Gatekeeper. And then I can come back for an extra damage. It's going to be problematic regardless. I'm going to get rid of the Rod, deal the damage to these, gain 4, take those 2 out. Thoughtcast is not bad. Let's try that. Refurb and a Galvanic. Those are great draws. Get rid of an Epicure. We did tap out a black, unfortunately, because we didn't know what we were going to draw. Galvanic. I could shoot the Gatekeeper and attack for 2, but then they can unearth 2 Gatekeepers and a Scrapwork Mutt. They're going to be able to do that anyway, basically. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think we're going to go for it. Shoot down the Gatekeeper and hit for 2. They don't unearth, and they just pass. Okay. I guess we're stabilizing. Black Mage's Rod is decent, because it's just some things that we can sacrifice to this offering. I don't think I care about the pings. I think I just want to sack the hero right away. Another Rod and a Cryogen Relic. Oh, you know what? Our map can grow our Shaman. The Rod can give the Shaman damage to our opponent, which will gain us life as well. Okay, now they're going for the Unearth on the Molten Gatekeeper. And the second. And then the Scrapwork Mutt. We're down to 6, discard a snacker. They can get the snackers back with his blood token, which is going to be 4 more damage. That's pretty unfortunate. I could sacrifice 3 artifacts in response to wipe the gatekeepers. Oh, but we'd lose the shaman, and I can't afford to lose the shaman. That's been way too good. It's the only thing keeping us alive. So if they swing with everything and I block here, sack, we're going to gain 4, go to 10, take 4, take another 4. Okay. They just swing with the snacker. That seems crazy. Well, they want to get it back because it's going to deal 2 damage, and I don't want that. Plus, I think I want to gain life off of this familiar. I don't know why they didn't attack with everything, because I guess I could block these, but I think we're going to block and sack to gain some life. They're going to use the blood to... Oh, Fiery Temper, which they can't use, but they get back 2 snackers, which is pretty good anyway. Imagine if I'd had the Spell Bomb to get rid of those snackers earlier. Yep, we're going to take a bunch of damage. These are going to go away. And they just have 3 snackers that we have to deal with. We get a Relic. I mean, I can map onto this, and I could Rod onto this. We start with a map. Blood Fountain. I don't think that's necessary. I guess getting back refurbs is pretty good. We actually only have 1 in our graveyard. Yeah, let's just put that in our bin. And then I put this on here. I can attack for 4, so I go to 10, so I'm not dead to this. And if I need to, I can sacrifice some artifacts to itself. Plus, this sets me up to start pinging and gaining more life. So yeah, we're going to attack for 4. Go up to 10. They draw. Grab the prize, a mutt. That's pretty good. That puts us to 8. The mutt can deal 8. Of course, we have a Corkland Shaman to survive, but we're going to have to sack a land or the rod to do that, which is pretty annoying. They're not going to do it, though. They're just going to swing for 6. I mean, I'll take 6. They have like a Fiery Temper. I have to sack like 2 lands in response to gain 2 life. Siege Smash. Target creature gets +3/+2. Okay. Well, that means that's 9 damage, so basically a Fiery Temper. I'm going to have to sacrifice... I think I want to keep the Rod, so I think I just sacrifice 2 lands to deal my Shaman 2 damage to itself to gain 2 life. And we'll take 9. Go to 1. And now we can gain 4... 5 from the Rod, plus we can sacrifice some stuff. Could also play a Relic, maybe draw a card. Well, maybe draw something relevant, but I think we just want the Rod because it's another, potentially more damage, but also it's another creature to gain a life, which could be relevant. So we'll ping them for 1, which gains us 1. We'll attack for 4, puts us to 6. We also have a blocker for the Scrapbook Mutt, if that matters, but we can wipe the Mutt away. 6, they can deal a 6, but we can gain more from the Shaman. This is the most souped up Shaman I've ever seen. I think we need to keep our lands at this point, so I'm going to sacrifice this Rod to gain some life, and we'll go to 8, down to 2. They have a Fiery Temper, the problem, or Grab the Prize. Grab the Prize doesn't kill us. I can sacrifice 1 to keep it alive. The problem is if they make it so we have to sacrifice another artifact, then we're going to die. Our Shaman's going to have to kill itself, and then we're going to lose. But we're still not dead, technically. We're at 1. Faithless Looting. They found a Fiery Temper. That can finally kill us, because this can only gain 1 more before it dies. That is a really disappointing way to go out. I definitely threw that game with the Spell Bomb play. Just a bit of a lapse of judgment. What are you going to do? This hand is trash. This hand is not very good either. Okay, here we are. Guess we're getting rid of these? Sure. We're against more Tron. My favorite. The Jukabog, we get a Kenku. Let's just put down the Rod. Sack map for a tower. Pass. Another Spell Bomb. I guess we'll just attack. I think I just want to get this clue down, so we're going to Toxin this guy. Gain a little bit of life. Play a Spell Bomb. Pass. Prophetic Prism. No land drop is pretty nice for us. You just get a Eviscerators. I guess we're sacking the clue. Either way, we're wasting a card with these, but this is a cheaper card. So yeah, we'll just get rid of the clue. For 1, we get a bridge. That's not bad. Swing for 2. They find an island and a Mystic. Galvanic Blast. And I can attack, and if they block, I'll blast it. I don't love losing our hero token because we also just have a lot of damage on them. So instead, maybe we'll just blood token, blood fountain, I mean, spell bomb, pass. I mean, this puts them to 1 if they don't have anything. Impulse, trying to find that mine. Another impulse, tap it out. Still trying to find that mine. They do, and a prism. All right, if we find any spell that we can cast for 1 or 2, this should be lethal. Galvanic blast them. Take a damage here. Spell bomb will do it. We'll kill him with the 3rd spell bomb. Blast them and bomb them out of the game. Alright, they had a little bit of troubles, but that was pretty decent from us. We get all our pyro effects. Cast into the fire. Take out makeshift. Kenku's feel slow. Krarks. I'm trying to remember what we did last time exactly. I think we take out Krarks and Blowgun. Maybe instead of the Kenkus? Sure. This hand looks alright. We need some red, but we have playables and some card draw. They got a map on turn 1. We're gonna bridge. Island, leave up their map. They might have a counterspell, but we're just gonna play a Blood Fountain and try to Thought Cast. They just Impulse. Okay. They have a mine, so next turn that's Tron. We are not gonna be able to pyro anything, unfortunately. So I guess we just go with the Black Mage's Rod for the damage. Play a bridge and pass. They get their tower. Play a Refractor. Play a Yorion revealed. I mean, that's not the worst thing ever, although it could be pretty bad. Great Furnace is decent. Let's attack for 2. Refurb. And I guess if they go for a wall, maybe I just want to spell bomb out. We'll do that. If they don't cast anything, we can bargain. If they want to cast something we want to pyro, we can do that. There's a wall. I think I'd still just prefer to pyroblast it so that they can't flicker it later. Now they got an impulse. Another tower. We're gonna just let those go. Another rod. Attack for 4. I mean, I guess we'll play another rod. This kind of walks into like a breath weapon if they have that, but it deals a lot more damage if they don't. They have another impulse. There's the mystical teachings. See what they get. It could be a breath weapon. And it is. Well, I'm not going to waste my mana. Since they're going to kill our guys anyway, I might as well just sack this familiar. If they want to wait longer, we can sack one of these on our turn as well. Yeah, they are just going to breath weapon here. That makes sense. We'll draw 2. Thought cast. They're doing something else. Cast into the fire maybe. On our Great Furnace. Just our seat. Oh, it's an Ancient Grudge, that's why. And our Great Furnace then. Yeah, that's pretty annoying. We get a land, so let's just Thought Cast, just in case we get something else we want to play. I could play the Vault. Part of me doesn't want to do that, in case they just have another Ancient Grudge. I think we're going to Spell Bomb to keep them off this Teachings and some other stuff, and then we'll play the Bridge. They're at 9, and we have a Galvanic, and Black Mage's Rod's on board, so we might be able to get there. They have a Relic, and their 4th Impulse, another Relic. It's going to be pretty annoying when they get a Ghostly Flicker for these to draw 4. Expedition Map, and pull out another tower. Oh, they're going to sack a Relic to draw. Maybe they've already played their land for this turn. I don't think so. Sack the map for the tower, and Weather the Storm to gain a bunch. Okay. Well, the burn plan is definitely slowed. There's a mountain. I guess we'll play that in case they get another Ancient Grudge. Relic, and I guess we'll hold up a bargain and a Red Blast. We're going to try to Red Blast Yorion for sure. 3 cards is a lot. Looks like they just have another one. That one's going to work. They play a mine and pass. We're going to ditch this Great Furnace. Another land. Relic. Let's just bargain away this Relic. Another Rod and a Familiar. I'm going to just play the Familiar, and I think I'm going to hold up Bargain. I could sack the Familiar and then get them both back with the Blood Fountain, try to take 2 more cards. That could be kind of good. They have a wall. Get back a Yorion, probably. Yep. Cast a Yorion revealed. And a Prism. Island, Relic. They got 5 cards in hand. Yeah, I'm going to bargain the Familiar. I don't want to lose a Rod because I actually want to use them as my win con, and I can just get the Familiar back. There's another Familiar too. Can't use all of them in this turn. Kind of want to hold up Galvanic for this wall, or play a Spell Bomb, so maybe I don't Blood Fountain this turn. Let's play an Enforcer. Let's play a Familiar. And let's equip the Familiar, the Rod, and then play a Spell Bomb, a little bit of Insurance, and then we'll pass. They just Reclamation the Spell Bomb. Well, we're gonna sack it. Blow up their grave. There's a Mystic. There's a Mystical Teachings. For a Ghostly Flicker, which they're gonna use on the wall, and a Relic, I assume. Prism. I mean, I guess, yeah, I guess it's more colored mana, whatever. I'm going to try to interrupt it by shooting the wall, but worst case scenario, they can just flash a Teachings back, even if, or they just have a counterspell. Hydroblast, sure. They have another wall to get back the Reclamation. We get an Offering. We have to draw something, so I would like to Rod and start dealing as much damage as possible, but we have to draw something to be able to win here. Some Pyroblasts, maybe. There's one. I guess we're just going to Offering away the Relic. I should have maybe mapped onto the Enforcer so I could attack with it. I have Red Elemental Blast to use on the Ghostly Flicker. If they have anything else, we're just going to concede because we don't have anything yet. Because they're going to go on 2 walls and be able to just counter everything. So let's try to stop that. Right, they have Teachings in the graveyard. Alright, we're on the play. Again with the one-lander. Guess this one's not... It's not really good. We don't have anything to sacrifice to these guys. Nope, this hand does not look keepable, actually. Okay, here's one that's finally keepable. I guess we'll get rid of the destructible lands. Since they have Ancient Grudge, at least one of. They mulligan to 6, not as bad as us. Kenku, not what you want to see when you get rid of a bunch of lands. An island. We get a swamp, that's not terrible. Let's play a Familiar, and I can hold up an Insight. They Impulse, as they are known to do. Discard a Relic, we're going to Insight while they're tapped out. Nutrient Block and Relic. They play a Tower, there's a Prism. An untapped land would be nice, because we could just go ham with the Artificer, but we get a Rod. In that case, I think I'd like to try to draw another land, so let's play a Relic. We get a Spell Bomb. I guess it'd probably be too early to play a Spell Bomb, because they could just get rid of it, so we'll just swing for 2 and play a Nutrient Block. They've got relatively natural Tron. Yorion revealed. Okay. You draw 3. There's a Prism. And a map. Another Spell Bomb. We'll play a Rod. I guess we'll play a Spell Bomb since we got a second one. Hang them for 1. Swing for 2. Ghostly Flicker the Prisms to draw 2. Impulse. They're passing to us. We get a Mirror Enforcer, which is certainly free. I'm not going to put out another Spell Bomb because an Ancient Grudge can take care of both of them. I guess we'll sack this Nutrient Block to draw a card in case we get a land. We got an Offering, but that's fine. I'll sack their map for another tower. Here's a Murmuring Mystic. Impulse. Energy Refractor. Another Refractor. And pass. We're going to crack the Spell Bomb just because we can really use the card draw. Land is decent. Wellspring. I think I'm going to Offering the Cryogen Relic. They're going to unwind that, it looks like. Yep. Really wanted that map token to put on the Mirror Enforcer, to be honest. You just draw a land while we'll play a Wellspring. Pay for 1. They Impulse. And then they prohibit the Wellspring. Okay. Making birds, I suppose, is just the goal. We have another Yorion revealed. A map. Ghostly Flicker to draw 2 more. Refractor. And Weather the Storm. So we're not going to be able to burn them out again. Alright. Alright, let's try not to get a match that's against Flickertron, please. This hand is okay. We have card draw, which is good. And we have some base artifacts. But we'll definitely want to draw some more stuff. Faithless Looting. 2 Snackers. What an incredible way to start. Dredge, it could be again. It's less common, but Madness Burn is also pretty common. Flame Breather makes me think it's Madness Burn. And I guess we're just going to Fanatical Offering this blood because we're not drawing anything helpful. Play a bridge and pass. Flashback Faithless Looting to get back Snackers. Attack for 1. Gonna play a Relic. Thoughtcast. Gonna play Thoughtcast. So many lands. Well, maybe playing this 80 card version is bad. It feels like all we can do is draw lands and draw spells, which there are a lot of in the deck. We're going to take 5 here down to 12. Toxin Analysis. We already have Death Touch and we don't have a Cart Clan Shaman. Guess we're going to offering this Relic. Try to draw to something. Galvanic is decent. There's a Cart Clan Shaman. So play a Furnace, play the Shaman, and then try to give it Death Touch. I think we'll not do that on this turn. I think we can wait, and I don't really care if I have to discard a bridge. They have a Fiery Temper here. Oh, I should respond to the Madness trigger, because then I could try to take these out. But I did not. Okay, well, in response, we will Toxin Analysis this card. See if they got a Bolt or something for it. A Lava Dart, of course, the perfect card. Which is fine, because I can still just sacrifice 3 artifacts. Who needs these anyway? The Blowgun could actually be useful, to be honest. And we'll take out a Snacker while we're at it. Down to 7. They attack for 2. Gutter Snipe, Lava Dart, and they have a Lava Dart in the bin. Oh, we got 5 of these, 2 Unexpected Fangs. This deck just does not feel to be working. Could have just been a fluke, / the fact that Luffy is an amazing player that I should not expect to be able to replicate his success with my pathetic ways. Alright. A semi-decent hand. Play a bridge and pass. Mountain and nothing for them. Get a Black Mage's Rod. Sure, let's just start with that. They have a Flame Breather. We'll play a Familiar. Discard a Snacker. Galvanic Blast the Flame Breather. And attack for 2. They have an Epicure. Discard a Mountain to the Blood. Nothing else it looks like, though. Mere Enforcer. We can play for 1 mana. Let's just play a Wellspring first. And then the Enforcer, we can get a Fangs on. Ooh, we can actually play it for free. I didn't know I was going to get a red Sorcerer. Obviously, I would have played a little differently. I would have left up the black for the Fangs, but we'll attack for 2 here. They have a Lava Dart for it, and that's fine. We'll just pass. Grab the prize with a land. They do get their Snacker back, though. Flame Breather, Spell Bomb. We're going to attack with the Enforcer with no blocks. We're going to go for a Fangs to gain 5 and play the Spell Bomb. I could just take away the Lava Dart, but they'll just cast in response. I think we'll wait until we get something bigger. Faithless Looting, Fiery Temper at the Enforcer, and a Lava Dart at the Enforcer. Cannot keep it around. Lava Dart again. Swing for 3. We're going to crack the Spell Bomb. Want to draw a card. This gets rid of their Lava Dart and their Faithless Looting. So they don't even use the Lava Dart, is interesting. We get a Blue Blast, a Vault. I think I'll play Cart Clan Shaman, but I don't think we're using it yet. Blast, I'm just holding up. They swing with the Snacker. I should have put this over here while I had the mana, because I kind of want to just trade for this Epicure. But now if I draw something that I want to play, it's going to be awkward, which we didn't, so it's fine. Whip, play a bridge. I guess I should maybe just shoot this guy, because we can start attacking. We have him on a 4-turn clock, plus this is the type of card we want to get rid of anyway. So we'll attack for 2. Now they kind of have to hold this back, or get another guy. There's the Gutter Snipe. I mean, that's what we really wanted to Blue Blast. Swing with the Snacker. Relic is not bad. Play that. Ping him for 1. There's a Blast. Let's use that on the Gutter Snipe. Attack for 2. And I might as well keep their guy tapped and draw a card with the Relic. We'll play it and pass. Alright, well, we got that game. So let's try to do that again. This hand is very heavy on interaction, which is decent. Well, I mean, 2 pieces of interaction is not super heavy, but this hand looks pretty reasonable, so we're going to keep. I'm going to play the Seat in case they go for a Flame Breather or maybe a Grab the Prize, which we can counter. I'm not going to counter an Epicure and a Great Furnace. I'm going to play a Bridge. Just hold these up again. Could have played the Relic, but I would like to stave off the Grab the Prize as long as possible. They might be playing around it, or they might just not have it. But if they're just attacking for 1, we're not in a terrible spot anyway. Bark. I mean, we're going to play a Familiar. Obviously, it's not an amazing play against them. For example, they can just Fiery Temper the Familiar or our face. We go for our face. I I guess we're going to tap out for this turn to get the Relic down. Feels like they might not have anything, or maybe they're just playing around it nicely, but I also want to get enough artifacts for this Enforcer to come down. So we'll see if one turn is that bad. There's a Snacker. There's a Flame Breather. That's fine, because I can still just take it out. And I guess we'll take this 1 damage. I don't mind this trade in general, but I'd like to keep the artifact for the Enforcer and stuff. Galvanic's good, too. I think just because we're pinched on blue, we are going to use the Blue Blast instead of a Galvanic on this, though. And Enforcer costs 2. So I guess since we're pinched on blue, we can't hold up a Hydroblast now for Grab the Prize, so that was actually kind of silly. I could have done that if I was doing it at the end step, but now it actually would have made sense to do the Galvanic. But oh well. Looks like they don't have a lot going on, so we might be okay. Thought Cast. We'll swing for 6. They're going to chump. Going to Offering the Relic. Response, they're going to Fiery Temper the Enforcer. I think that's fine. I'll just get another Enforcer. Or, you know, whatever. Kark Clan Shaman. Let's map up this Familiar. And another Kark. We definitely do not need a third one. Let's get rid of that. There's a Gutter Snipe. You know, I'll Hydroblast it. I don't really need to, but I do want to use this Thought Cast, and then we're going to be tapped out of blue, and we still have a Galvanic for another one, so I think it's okay. Well, there's another Blue Blast, but we're still going to Thought Cast. Play a Wellspring. Another Thought Cast. Play a Wellspring. Attack for 4, and I'll just leave up this Galvanic. Faithless Looting brings back the Snacker, but that's fine. I think we're just going to Galvanic them now, because we only need 1 more to be able to finish them off. Black Mage's Rod can also do similar things. Let's just play that. Attack for 4, although we only had 1 black mana, so can't play a Bargain, which I probably should have played instead, but oh well. Have a Faithless Looting. I think that's fine. I can just counter anything that they cast off of it if there's anything scary. Discard a Mountain and a Fire Blast. They play a Lava Dart. Well, I can't really counter that. I could, but they can just flash it back, so that's fine. I can equip this to here, and then I can draw 3, ping them for 1, another Blue Blast. Finally, some more colored lands. Right now we want the blue one down. And we'll just pass. Swing with the Snacker. I don't think we're going to be able to die here, so I think that's fine. They'll pass to us. We draw another land. We're going to Thought Cast, put them to 2. We're going to Pyroblast that. I'm going to counter that, put them to 1, and they're going to concede. All right, we actually take down the match against Madness Red. Red Madness. This one seems okay. If we get the card draw that we sometimes get in the deck, then we might be fine. But if we just draw a bunch of lands, we're going to have a rough time. We're going to start with a bridge. Next turn we can play Nutrient Block and Familiar. They're not going to duress us here, are they? No, Spell Bomb. It's not great either. Orzhov Basilica. Looks like GlintBlade to me. Another land. Amazing. Play the Nutrient Block and play the Familiar. They discard the Bog, and they have a Familiar of their own. I'll happily get rid of a land. And another. I mean, less happily, but whatever. Too many lands to matter too much anyway. We get a Cryogen Relic. That's a good draw. Into a land. Fantastic. Well, we do have 2 cards sitting on the field. We can cash in at any time for some mana. Play a bridge. I'd like to trade this off, but I fear, oh, they're just going to Skyfisher Familiar us again. I mean, I'm still not really losing cards that I care too much about. No, they Temporal Intervention. That's actually better. You got punked. That's pretty funny. Intervention. I don't know if I really like the look of it in Glinthawk, in GlintBlade, just because, I don't know. If you can't trigger it, it's just so expensive. You kind of have the mana in that deck, but you're not triggering it as much as you would want. In Black Sack, I think it looks very good, but I don't know about this one. Kark is going to do just about nothing in this match, so we might as well just put him down in case they have like a Tithing Blade or something. And I guess we'll sack the Nutrient Block in case we get like a Thought Cast or another Familiar. Should have done that before the Kark, but we got a Toxin Analysis. I mean, if they swing in with the Skyfisher, I can block and try to Death Touch. They Offering the Spell Bomb and play the Familiar yet again. Get rid of the seat. Do swing with the Skyfisher. We will go for the trade with our Toxin, seeing as it on the Kark is pretty irrelevant. Another Cryogen Relic. Guess we might as well play that. Enforcer. So we'll crack a clue here. Play an Enforcer. We might as well swing, because it would just trade, and that's fine. We have a Black Mage's Rod. If they make us discard that, not really what I want, but it's fine. They do go for the trade, interestingly. Yeah, that makes sense. Tithing Blade gets the Enforcer. Yeah, maybe I should not have attacked for that reason. And they have the Refurb. Lucky them. Spell Bomb and map onto the familiar. Skyfisher on top. Swing for 3. We get a bargain. We're definitely just gonna cash that in for 3 cards. Well, I could go for the rod, but I think we just go for the value. Crack this to draw another 3. Oh look, now we would have loved to draw a land. What a game, dude. Just one. I didn't want 17. I just wanted 1 land. We'll take 5. They can make it discard 1 with the Skyfisher. They might just pick up the Tithing Blade, though. Yeah, I think that's fair. For when we get a creature. There's a land. Let's just play a Wellspring. Spell Bomb. Put that down. Play a bridge and pass. We're going to have to take another big hit. But ideally we can draw some more cards here. And they're almost out of cards. They have a Tithing Blade and 1 unknown. We just need to survive. Draw something good. Here's another 3 coming our way. Kark's not amazing. More card draw. What an amazing deck. I mean, Makeshift is not terrible. It can pick off familiars pretty easily. Yeah, we definitely got to do that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. But then we don't draw off of this. Well, let's ping this right now with the Spell Bomb. They have the Dispute effect. Yeah, that's annoying. Just wanted to see if we would draw something relevant, like a land, which I don't hate. But now we have to throw 2 lands if we want to hit this. Or 1 land and a map. I could just take 5. I think we take 5, unfortunately. Play the Relic. This can also keep one of these tapped down for a turn if we really want. Map onto the Skyfisher. Glinthawk on top. Swing for 6. Skyfisher. Pick up the Refurb. Okay. They make me discard a card, but it only has 1 toughness now, which is nice. But they also just want to get a guy down, I think. We'll play that. Discard the Krark. Sack the Spell Bomb. Glinthawk. Yeah, that makes sense. They wanted to pick up the hawk they knew about. And all we have is a million card draw spells. Wellspring. Black Mage's Rod. Sack the Wellspring to draw. Forcer. I think we're sacking the Relic to keep this tapped. And then we can pick off a Glinthawk with 2 of these. I guess we do that now in case they have another Fanatical. Tithing Blade, we knew about. Oops. Familiar, discard a land. Familiar, discard a land. In for 2. Play Black Mage's Rod. Let's see. 1, 2. I can throw these. 3, 4, 5. I can throw this. I think it makes more sense for me to just try to draw something. Even like a Mirror Enforcer and then a bargain would be decent because I could gain some life. Thoughtcast. Blood Fountain gets us back. Nothing very useful. Thoughtcast. Refurb is decent, and Reckoner's Bargain is good. Discard a Basilica. Pick off a familiar here. We'll pass, leave up the bargain. Glinthawk. I could pick off the familiar, but I don't actually care if they make me discard a card. Tithing Blade would be more annoying, which they do pick up. I'll lose the hero. They have another Tithing Blade. So we're gonna gain 4, go up to 10. We're gonna take 7. Galvanic is decent. We're gonna be at 3. So I could kill all of these guys, but the question is, then Tithing Blades are gonna finish us off, I guess slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage. Play a Rod first. Also buy back familiar. Well, Rod is coming down. I know that much, I think. Galvanic takes this out, so I need 6 more mana. I guess that's all the rest of the mana I have. I want to take nothing. I have to throw a bunch of stuff. Okay, we might as well do it now, right? So they can't have something to sack. Then they'll flip a Tithing Blade. We'll have like 2 turns, but maybe we can draw something else. Galvanic this down. Hit the Refurb. Hit the Glinthawk. And we'll take out the Skyfisher. If we had just a little bit more life or something, then we could maybe hold all that, try to throw it at them, but we just we're not going to be able to do that this turn. They flip a Tithing Blade as anticipated. Gonna need to gain some life. We're gonna survive. Oh, and they have a Glint Hawk. That's very nice for them. They just bring up a land. Since they want to flip the other Tithing Blade, they don't want to have to cast it. There's a Mirror Enforcer. I can get back a Refurbished Familiar with this Blood Fountain. Play this. Yeah, Refurb and a Mirror Enforcer. We have a blocker. Make them discard their card. Play an Enforcer. Play this. I mean, if they can't do anything here, we can hit for 10 or 8, I guess, if they attack here. Yeah, if they just flip the Tithing Blade, we're dead next turn unless we gain life. So we're going to have to find life gain. Or just enough damage to kill them, which would be a very unlikely thing to happen. We can attack for 10. 1, 2. I can hit this. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm 4 damage short. But every mana we use is another one short. This is the turn that matters, so I actually want to keep this blood in case we need to go 1 card deeper. So let me just sack a vault here. Rod is not enough. Enforcer's not enough. Blood token away. I have to get... We've already gone through toxin analysis this game, right? Yeah. So it has to be a Reckoner's Bargain. Get rid of this bridge. Spell Bomb is a redraw. But if we get a Reckoner's Bargain right here, nope. Kenku's not going to do it. No life gain, and we're going to die. Pretty annoying. Cast into the Fire, Breath Weapon are good. Unexpected Fangs could be okay. Don't need a block. Well, honestly, just these Shamans seem bad. So actually, let's just leave everything else, I think. Yep. We're on the play here. We get another 1,000,000 land hand. Guess we're keeping this one. Let's start with a bridge. They got a Crossroads. Bridge and a Spell Bomb. They got a Lembas. Another Thoughtcast. Wish we had double blue here. Wish we had quadruple blue here. I mean, we are drawing card draw, which if we can find some other stuff. I think the deck, I mean, based on my experience, I think the deck just needs a few more actual things. Like, I would put some maybe Gear Seeker Serpents in this version or something. But currently it just feels like, I think, what, 12 threats, basically? 14 with the Kenkus. And everything else is just nothing. Glint Hawk, pick up a Lembas. Let's Thoughtcast, and let's just play a Relic and a Bridge, and we'll pass. Fanatical Offering the Lembas, and play the other one. Going for 2. They got a discard, a Plains. We're gonna Thoughtcast, Vault, play a Familiar, discard another land. We'll play a Blood Fountain, and just hold up our Fanatical Offering. Radiant Fountain, gaining a lot of life over there. We have a Cast Down. We will sack it to the Offering. We have a Skyfisher, pick up the Lembas. Attack for 3. We are gonna draw some draw spells, I bet. Offering this Relic. Well, we got a Black Mage's Rod and an Enforcer. That's not bad. Let's make him discard a card. It's another Cast Down. Let's map onto the Familiar. Try to make it big enough to trade. Galvanic Blast on top. We'll leave that. Play Black Mage's Rod and an Enforcer. Triple Cast Down in their graveyard. They have a Lembas again. Glint Hawk back the Lembas. Play it again. And Refurbished Familiar. That's fine. You can get rid of a bridge. We'll trade this Familiar for the Glint Hawk. And Galvanic Blast, which we knew about. I could play the Blood Fountain and buy back 2 Familiars and play them both as blockers. That seems pretty good. It also puts them down to 1 card in hand. Oh, I'm one... Or no, that only uses 4 black, not 5 black. Yes, I can do that. Let's do that then. Alright, I will also attack with our ground troops. If they can trade off for flyers, I'm totally fine with that. They don't. We will pick up the 2 Familiars. And we will play them and take 2 cards from their hand. Which is a Vault and a Skyfisher. Fanatical the Lembas. Map onto the Glint Hawk. Dust to Dust on top. It's a pretty good one. Oh, I also just realized we had another Blood Fountain on board already. So I didn't actually need to play the one from hand. So I could have held up this Galvanic Blast for one of these Glint Hawks, which would have been better. But I think we're just going to chump. Actually, wait, can I just kill them? Because I could deal them 10, and this would be 5, 4. So I only need 1 more damage, actually. Yeah, actually, I was going to trade, and I'm happy to do that, but actually I only need 1 spell to be able to deal them lethal here. Oh, and a Galvanic will certainly do it. And there it is. They don't have a Lembas on board right now, so not worried about that. All right, let's go to the final game. Only red is not gonna work. This one's decent. Cast Another Fire or Black Mage's Rod. I think we want the blowgun because it gives reach. And having 2 guys to give reach to is decent, but I think Cast Another Fire, taking out potentially 1 or 2 refurbs. I could get their first land. Could be good. Fangs, not really what I want to draw. Beer Crossroads. I kind of do want to just slow them down because we don't have a lot going for us. So I think I will just exile their land. Maybe they only have 2. Maybe it's their only black source, you know. Or maybe it's just going to take them off a land for a little bit. Not to mention the fact that they have Dust to Dust, and I'd rather them take a little bit longer to blow up our lands. So they do have another land, and it's a black land, but Pachuca Bog, so they don't play anything here. I'm going to play Vault, Black Mage's Rod, and then the Blowgun. This way, if they Dust to Dust 2 of our lands, we have all the colors still in hand. They just Lembas, though. It's possible they need to look for lands now. They do keep it on the top. It's a Glint Hawk. That's pretty good. Galvanic Blast. I could Unexpected Fangs on the hero with the Blowgun, but if they just have like a Tithing Blade, it kills us, which I don't love. I think for now, I'm just gonna Galvanic Blast the Hawk and then start attacking. My equipment deck. Looks like there's the Dust to Dust. And they get rid of both of our red lands. This is why I should not have played that bridge. But I guess we have nothing else to do but play this Fangs. So we're going to hope they don't have the Tithing Blade. Attack for 4. Or just a cast down, I suppose. They play a Lembas. They don't even leave up black mana. There's a Skyfisher. Okay. Pick up the Lembas. We get a Familiar. That's not bad. Swing with the hero. Play a Familiar. Temporal Intervention. And I'm gonna move the Rod over here. Doesn't have lifelink, but I'm not too worried about that, but this makes it so either one of these can attack past. They're just gonna pass. Interesting. Feels like they probably have like a cast down, or maybe just like a sacrifice. Fanatical Offering. I'm gonna attack though. We don't really have anything else going for us. They have a Suffocating Fumes. Well, that's pretty frustrating. Kills this. I mean, this still has Death Touch, so these will still trade if they want to block. But, yeah, that's not great. Now we're top decking. We have absolutely nothing going for us, and we know they have a Lembas at the very least. And a Skyfisher. We have a Great Furnace. I guess I'll play it. I don't know if it's safer on the field or in our hand, because Dust to Dust can get it from the field, but a Refurb can get it from hand, but we're just going to play it anyway. They got a Lembas. I would love to get a Thoughtcast into a Thoughtcast into a bunch of Enforcers, maybe. Glint Hawk back the Lembas. Play a Spell Bomb. Attack for 2. Well, we have a bunch of card draw spells, so I'm going to keep playing my lands, because if we draw them, we're going to want to have as much mana as possible. Insight away the Spell Bomb. Swing for 4. And another Spell Bomb. What an interesting game that's just being ruined by 4 lands on top of our deck. They play a Lembas and a Familiar, swing for 4, and we get a Cryogen Relic. That's something. We get a Blood Fountain, which is not great because they have a Spell Bomb, so I'm just going to crack this Cryogen Relic. Or a Bridge, which I guess I'll discard with this Blood Token. Finally an Enforcer. I feel like they're going to have at least 1 removal spell, but we'll try to give it reach just to see what happens. Oh look, a Cast Down. They have a Cast Down and then a Fanatical Offering. Map onto the Glint Hawk. Get a Basilica. Swing for 6. Glint Hawk back a Refurb. Play it again and draw a card. Seat of the Synod. Well, we'll hope they forget about their Spell Bomb. Crack this Blood Fountain. And they did. We'll play a Familiar. We'll play this Enforcer, and we will give it reach. And they have a Dust to Dust for our 2 creatures. Okay, well, this was an interesting experiment. I have no idea how Luffy got a trophy with this. Maybe he didn't have to play against Tron twice, although I guess we actually won one of those. But a lot of good cards in the deck. Unfortunately, just way too easy to flood, and a million draw spells. that I think I'm going to stick to the 60 card version. But I hope you enjoyed watching this interesting take on the deck anyway. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons, including my $10 patrons, Howard Granger, Lars, JMW, Josh Greninger, and Rafa Rodriguez. I really appreciate the support, and I will see you all next time.